What's up, y'all? This is Simon's for Contemporary International Problems Assignment. So, uh, we're working on cultural identity. I'm going to work with you to explain how social, cultural, gender, and economic factors influence behavior and also human interactions in societies around the world. So, guiding questions, though, for this unit are who are you? And also, what is your identity? You're going to be able to identify your social identities and personal identities through completing the Identities Circle diagram. You'll explain, excuse me, students will explain their completed Identity Circle diagram in pairs, groups, and with the whole class. I'll get more into that later on. Don't worry about it for right now. So, uh, just real fast what the assignment is in a nutshell, then I'll go into greater details. You are going to be putting in what your social identity is and also what your personal identity is. You can find this in the Google Classroom under Who Am I and What Are My Responsibilities? Identity Circle Activity. It's a Google Draw document. Make yourself a copy. There's a Word box with a guiding question for the social and personal identity, and just kind of put your answer inside the box. And then you just turn it into the Google Classroom, and we're good. So, before we get started, just want you to think about what identifiable characteristics strangers might attribute to you if they saw you in public. These are things that people see, like race, gender, age, maybe something else. Because these characters are perceived by others, they're considered visible. They can all see them. However, sometimes social identity can include things that you don't necessarily see. This could be sexual orientation, religion, immigration status, things of that nature. But these are all going to go into the outer box or the outer ring, social identity. Now, personal identity is a little bit different. These are made of like identifiable characteristics that you attribute to you. These are traits, behaviors, beliefs, values, things of that nature. These personal identifiers are going to go into the section for personal identity, and there's going to be a text box in the Google Draw assignment. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. As you know, I'm here for you. So now let's go into how you can do like an A+ job on this. We're going to have to review some key concepts and vocabulary, personal identity, social identity, visible identity characteristics, invisible identity characteristics, race, ethnicity, gender, class. I'm sure you have like working definitions of what all of these are, but sometimes it's nice to just kind of spell them out or get multiple definitions to help improve and stretch your identification. So, one thing to think of, social identity. Identity characteristics that affect how others interact with you and how you interact with others. These can include race, gender, age, whether or not you're a famous basketball player or you see another famous basketball player. You know, these are your social identity. These, not to be confused with a personal identity. Those are identity characteristics that you give yourself. These are traits, behaviors, beliefs, values, and things that make you who you are. That's your personal identity. Now, often we have visible identity characteristics, meaning identity characteristics that everyone can see and like notice about you. And then there's invisible identity characteristics that can't be seen, on the surface, that are mostly known inside to you. Other concepts and factors are race. Race is a social construct created by European and American pseudoscientists, which sorts people into phenotypical, global, social, and political hierarchies. Another way to put that is race is completely made up by Europeans and Americans. It's a fake science, and it exists to judge people based on how they look and then put them in categories based on where they are in society or politically. But it's a completely made up concept and practice. Also related to that is gender. Western culture has come to view gender as a binary concept, meaning it sees it with two rigidly fixed options: men and women, instead of a static binary model produced through a solely physical understanding of gender. A far richer tapestry of biology, gender expression, and gender identity intersects, resulting in a multidimensional array of possibilities. Meaning, basically, instead of worrying about, how someone is, physically a man or a woman, you have to understand that those concepts are so much more than just biology. Gender is an expression, gender is an identity, and the more you look at someone's gender, the more complicated you realize the issue is. Thus, gender can be recognized as a spectrum that is inclusive of various gender identities. There's a lot of ways to express your gender, and it's always evolving. So, class. Class is a category and identifier that denotes a person or group's economic or social status. You know, yeah, basically, where do you fit on the economic scale? I think that one's fairly self explanatory. But that's all I have for you. I just wanted to go through these key concepts. I'll include these notes for you so you can have them available. And yeah, please work on your identity circle. Make a copy out of the Google Classroom. Um, put some things inside there that let me know you know what social identity is and you know what personal identity is. And that is the assignment. Thank you very much for your time and attention.